So, yes, I use on the poster. You saw the poster?
Yes.
On Facebook, yes. So the zero, I call this zero talks. But zero my language. I just want to present the language is like 0 and 1, like in computer language. So for me, 0 is absolute in my language, and 1 is already out of the 0. So we are in India. Yes, so to make it clear, because sometimes we don't understand what some teacher says. So one day we'll say you are the doer, the next day you will say you are not the doer. So to help to see from where it is said. So when you say you are not the doer, about the 0, we talk 0 to 0, right? You are the doer is the 1, right? So this is the language I may use sometime. So when we say practice, you need to meditate, to practice, to do self-inquiry, to be pure, so on. To whom it is addressed? To the 1, right? Because 0, what we are as 0, as absolute, does not need any practice. We don't need to reach what we already are, right? So when it's clear, it's very helpful to see from where it is said any words. So, and at the same time, you can use spoken from 0 to 0, from heart to heart, we can say, beyond the separation, but using the 1 to speak. But the less things around, then the more they are like living words, if it's spoken more from 0. But as soon as they leave the 0, it's already distorted a little bit, but as less as possible. Because whatever words we say is distorted, because that which we are, the Tao, we cannot say anything about the Tao. So once it's clear, any words is in a way fake, because it's out already. So, but we use words as pointers to point the 0, which we cannot speak about, right? So another way to see is like a wheel. If you have a wheel, like the wheel of samsara, so the center is not moving, right? It doesn't move, the center of the wheel. Everything moves in the wheel except the center. So the center, you can see this as a 0, what we are. It does not move. No time and space in 0. But any point in the wheel as 1 is moving. So this point may try, after seeing that it's not so nice here, suffering and this, want to go out, to leave the wheel of samsara. And then the 1 may like to be enlightened or awakened. But the 1 cannot, because it's part of the dream, of the wheel. Only the 0 can realize itself to itself, by itself, as Ramana is saying. So once this is seen as so, we can do anything for the 1, but even to get pure, more pure, or as we were talking just before the talk, to be vegetarian, and this, I had a guru, an initiation also, and it was asked to be vegetarian and so on. But this is for the 1. As what we are does not need any, it's beyond purity. 0, in 0, no notion can enter. It's like what we say in the Bible, the kingdom of God. The rich man cannot enter the kingdom of God. what does it mean for me? Rich man was a notion of good and bad, but the kingdom of God, if we call it really the absolute, then nothing, no notion can enter. No good, no bad. No pure or impure. Kabir also was saying, you wanting to be pure make you impure. Because whatever we run towards, if I want well-being, purity, feeling good, then the shadow of this will always follow. But then we see that, and that we are already that, the zero, that anything which come here is welcome. Good, bad, what the mind calls, but there is no need to call anything. Just any experience is only an experience in time and space.
And in a zero status, let's say, I can make a choice.
In the zero state?
In a zero state.
But
if I have, I don't know, people brings food on the table, I can choose.
But who is I? Who is this I who say I can choose?
The zero?
No.
So how do I do? Where do I put myself to have I cannot eat everything? If
you talk about your real self, I mean the self, the zero,
mm-hmm.
then you cannot put it anywhere because it's not in time and space.
Okay.
Only the one you can ask, where can I put this one?
Okay, but
which I carry.
I mean in practice.
In practice?
In a practical situation. I'm going somewhere, there's food on the table.
Yes, so your body mind is moving in time and space.
Mm.
But what you are as zero, you don't need to follow that.
Mm.
You are stable.
Mm.
You are here, eternally here, in the eternal now. And are you moving when you are here?
Mm.
But you see, your body seems to move. It's an appearance. But is it real? The movement? The assumption is what appears to be real is real, but this is a wrong assumption. You can question it. Is it true that whatever appears to be real is real? When you question it, for example, the time and space. When you question tomorrow, like if you see yourself as in a desert and you are thirsty, and you see oasis with water, you want to reach there, and you go, you arrive, nothing. You move again, another oasis, I'm so thirsty, you go, nothing. So tomorrow is like this. You speak about tomorrow, when you actually arrive tomorrow disappears, like a mirage. And the same for there. Wherever you go, if I go there, when I reach there, it will disappear. You can never be there. You can only be here and now, right? So if you see it, that the base of time and space is an illusion, a mirage. So whatever appears in the mirage is a mirage. There is no other option. So any experience that we make in the mirage is a mirage. Only what we are, which is prior to the time and space, what we are is the only reality. Anything else is a moving mirage.
Yeah. So eating is a mirage.
Whatever experience, any experience, light, golden light, enlightenment, awakening, even to be awakened is in the dream. The one who is awakened, where is he? Zero does not need to be awakened.
Yeah.
Who needs to be awakened? The one who is in despair. But what we are is already what it is. There is no need of awakening, no need of enlightenment. So that's also what Ramana explained about the 7 states, different state of realization. But only the self, whatever stage of experience or state of consciousness to the highest, is still a state of consciousness. But they are alternating. They are not forever. So the only thing which is always there, eternally, is a self. And we are already that now. So what are we trying to reach?
Isn't there a discrepancy somewhere? Because
Sorry?
Isn't there a discrepancy or isn't there a problem somewhere? Because we find ourselves here in a limited body, in a limited reality, and at the same time we're being told, yes, there is the self or the zero. But I'm here experiencing this dream.
Yes.
So.
But
Yeah.
But when you question it, is it real?
No.
It's not. So it's an experience.
Yes.
Which now you see as unreal. Is it so for you? It seems real, but you see the bridge that we make, that from a seemingly appearance of reality, you see that it cannot be real. Because it seems like a matrix, matrix, it seems so real.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was a Guruji who was Ishwapuri, without the last one I've been initiating on inner light and sound. I can talk to you about that after. But he was saying that in US there is some movie. He went to a movie and there was rats in the street running. And then they did put in the cinema hall, some air pump that you feel on your feet.
Yeah.
So when the rats on the screen are coming, they are pressing the pump and you feel it's real. This is what is happening here. Everything seems real. With the five senses, everything seems so real. But it doesn't mean it is actually real. Right. When you dream during sleep, does it not look like real? You can eat, you can make love, you can kill someone, and when you wake up, you say, oh my God. When you had a nightmare, you, my God, I'm so happy it did not happen. The same here. When you realize it's just a longer dream on a physical instead of being on a subtle plane.
Do we know what happens at the end of this dream when we die?
At the end of?
This dream, like when this body dies.
But if you go into that consideration, I would say it's better to see that it will never end. From zero, you see that it's an illusion, and it never started, and it will never end. The idea of start and end is in time. But from your being, you see that it's not like this. Mm-hmm. Like you can say when some teacher says when you come down from the absolute, it's just an image to make it like that. Then you pick up a DVD like in the Akashic records, and then you pick up a movie. You choose this one, I like it, and this. You just want as God to make an experience. So you take a movie with a limited as an actor. You pick up a movie, and you're the main actor, and everyone has picked up a DVD like this. But when you pick up one DVD, it cannot be alone because it's connected with past life and future life. So you pick up a DVD which has infinite past life and infinite future life. But the infinite past life, you have not been going through that. So nothing is real. It's just like it's made up. So it's infinite. As long as you are in the wheel, it will never stop because no beginning and no end. It will never stop.
So do you think there's a way to just cut it off, like a methodology to get out of this completely?
Just to realize you are already zero now. Because the one will. So
I'm still experiencing reality, even if I.
Yes, but so what you can do is to not grasp what you said just now. You see, it's like create a new habit. It's when you have a thought. Is there a way to get out of it? What is it? It is a thought, right?
Yeah.
So what happens if you don't grasp this? Is it thought?
Disappears.
It disappears. And where are you?
Here?
Here. Can you be anywhere else than here?
No.
You're always here. If you don't buy any, it's like a supermarket. This head.
Will it do you think it'll continue like this indefinitely, or maybe someday?
Yes.
It will really end.
Yes. It's like it will never stop for the one. The one is like an hamster rolling in the wheel and trying to, when he's fed up, he's happy to come in the wheel and then he wants to go out. But he's part of the wheel. So it's better to see it as totally hopeless. The one will never make it. And then in this hopelessness, you see that you're already that zero or absolute, or the being.
So from moment to moment, we need to see this, that we are the zero.
There is a need for the one, but the zero does not need anything. If something in you is zero, there is no way to explain that.
Yeah.
But if you can relate to that, so it's like what Papaji calls a split second. It's not in time and space. There is a beyond time and space. It's a grace, something like that. But it can be seen as just a mirror, the clearest mirror. But still, because the self has no beginning, no end, and it never appear or disappear. So when you do neti, you do neti on everything which appear and disappear. Whatever appear and disappear cannot be real, right? This is neti.
This includes the physical world? Like
anything, any notion which appear in the mind is neti. You heard about that?
Yeah, I've heard.
So it means it's like a machine, like which is nothing can enter in zeroness. So any notion which the mind try to catch cannot enter. So absolute neti is our nature, because nothing is real. Whatever comes and goes. But what we are is ungraspable. The mind will never find out what we are. We can only be it. We cannot know it. Because knowing is already, you can say like that, like separating. Somebody knowing.
So if this is true, and we deeply know that we are the zero, I don't know if I'm using the words right, but then the outside experience wouldn't matter to us.
That's what it's about. To be in a carelessness.
Okay.
Because the carelessness is from who? The caretaker. And who is the caretaker? I. Who think he's controlling.
Yeah.
Who think he has a free will.
Okay.
But does he have actually a free will? Is this free will real? What do you think?
No, it's just a thought, something that the one has.
It's a part of the dream.
It's part of the dream.
If we would know what will happen tomorrow, if there would be no free will, then it would not work. Because we don't know what will happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
But when you do self-inquiry on I, and you bring attention from the outer object to the subject. And if you do like that, you see that I is disappearing. It seems to exist, especially when you are out. When you don't watch I, then it becomes real, if your attention is on objects. But you pull the string towards the subject, you keep your attention there, you see it's not real, it disappears. If you have done self-inquiry, or
is
if
it
you
similar to like what Eckhart Tolle calls the power of now, like when you enter the present moment?
Yes, but it's still limited for me, because the power of now, it's in there is a controlling system, and behind there is a subtle I, for me, as I see it. So when you are in deep sleep, where is your power of now? Where is your presence?
There is no experience at all.
So it's absence.
Yeah.
So, as Karl Rehn say, be what you are in spite of presence or absence. It's a more relaxing, your natural state. Because the power of now, there is a kind of controlling, need to maintenance. You see? That's why if you are like Eckhart Tolle, it feels like, for me, the kind of maintenance. It's not natural state. If you're natural, you don't mind being in the I amness of the power of now, or you are in the identified. Sometimes you get identified, sometimes you are not. Ping pong. But you have no preference. But what makes the trouble when you have a preference to stay somewhere, or in awareness, in higher awareness. The greatest masters you have to maintain this by purity, practice, this, that, but all of them mostly, they come down. I have experienced that with my first guru. Then what happens? Always the same story: sex, money, power, whatever. Huh?
With the group?
Most of them, many of them.
Yeah.
So, and why? My understanding, because I have been through that with some masters, guru, and because there is a preference to stay in some states.
Mm-hmm.
But when you want to stick to that, you can fall anytime and shift from it. Because it's a natural tendency to shift from one state of consciousness to the other. But if you have no preference, you abide as the self, doesn't mind anything. Then this is the natural state, which is not the state. And then you are totally normal. I mean totally normal. But it's not about reaching something and controlling and to be shiny. And I've been seeing these masters or Ma, Taji or whatever. And we look at so shiny, so much love, or this. But these experiences, if we trust that, I've been trusting that and I've been deceived. And the only way to not be trapped, just to be what you are and to not try to stick to anything and to not take for real any experience you see with these eyes. These are cheating eyes. So to not believe anything, what you see with your eye. Just not to be really go to the far end, because otherwise it's, at some point.
Well, I think I like to play ping pong.
Yes, it's
No? Is it good or not?
to play ping pong.
Yeah.
We can have
0, 1, 0. Sorry.
So it means what I mean to say is not minding. As soon as who is the one who wants to stay somewhere, to land somewhere, to catch something, because it's better. And by any movement we do with the preference of this or that or this, then we confirm the will, the one who is within the will. But by seeing that the one will never make it, then it is. But you have to, for that you have to practice. So first suffer. Normally it's like that. You suffer, you are fed up with the world, then you practice, search, and then at some point you might be able to hear that you already that.
So
like
is
that.
it what we call the surrender or letting go, surrender? This is it?
Yes, you can call it surrender, but surrender is for whom? For the one, right? When you see that you don't need to surrender, because you already, prior to the first God, the first I, who created all this, what you are is prior to that. So who need to surrender? When you are the totality of consciousness, who need to surrender? Who need to do self-inquiry? I.
No, yeah, maybe
I.
just as a tool.
As a tool sometime. But then you don't mind using a tool, but you know you are what you are, or you. Yeah. It's not that you know, but you are. You cannot avoid to be what you are, to be what you are. It's always there, what you are, and here. Not tomorrow or later. Like the Bible say, if you want to go to heaven, you have to behave like this, like this. Other people say, if you want to go out of the will, like my teachers also, you have to be vegetarian and this to have less karma, to go out of the will and so on, or to practice to be pure. But this is entertaining the idea that you can leave the will. So, and it can last for how many lifetimes? So at some point you can say, no, what I am does not need anything. I don't even need the ego to go. I don't need, what I am does not need any condition. What I am is unconditional. Does not need enlightenment, does not need the ego to go or this. It has no condition. Otherwise it's always putting conditions. And it's postponing. But when we are able to hear that, no, I'm fed up with conditions, I am that now, bas, finish.
But is that a belief or is that an experience? Like,
it's beyond experience. It's you are that.
Yeah.
When you realize you are that, then you say it's a fact. I could say, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a fact.
You are.
But would you say that sadhana becomes, if there is even sadhana, is it like a constant reminder that, oh, I am that? Like every time I get, let's say, caught up or identified,
yeah,
to remind myself, I am that. So
yes,
automatically you let go.
So it's a tool.
Okay.
So this is for the one, right?
Okay.
So I like to, that's why I use 0-1. This sadhana, practice, reminder, bhakti, whatever we go to, is for the one. But what you are, at the same time, simultaneously, you might be able to see that you're already that. That you don't need that. But still you don't mind doing it because first you have no control, it's happening by itself. The quest, as soon as the first came out of 0, then the quest starts. Because I feel alone, I'm one. Before any notion, there is no idea. In 0, there is no notion of loneliness or not loneliness. But as soon as the 1 is coming out, then the idea of loneliness starts, because there is 1. Then I create another 1 to not feel lonely, and then I feel separate. And this.
Would you say then there's a difference between, let's say, me and Ramana Maharishi?
As a self, no.
It's a self, no, but you have two different bodies within the dream.
Yes.
One of them is here, experiencing things, has thoughts, emotions, whatever.
Yeah.
And another appears not to go through those things at all.
You don't know.
I don't know.
We don't know. Who knows what Ramana was going through? Sometimes I was told he was sometimes shouting in the kitchen to people because they were doing wrong or this. But you can say from the one point of view, the relative point of view, that his body was less vasanas or no vasanas, no mental tendencies, right?
Yeah.
You can say that. But for what you are, it doesn't make a difference. The self, yourself, Buddha self, Jesus self, Ramana self, her mind self is the same self. Then when you see that, oh, what I am is not different from Ramana self, Buddha self, Jesus self, or anybody's self. So when you're able to see that, you're already that. Then it's just whatever karma, Ramana karma, or your karma, or she or me, or Buddha, are different.
Yeah.
Less, more heavy, or more stuff. But for what you are, there is no difference. And it's already actual right now. And when if I speak, if you can hear from 0 to 0 what I say, you can feel that there is no difference. Can you sense it?
I can.
There is no difference. And then, just by being that, hey,
Sorry.
welcome.
Sorry, we're crowded. We don't have any space for you.
Yeah, I see. No, I don't do that. It's difficult. I'm sorry, I did not know
What time?
that this is happening at all, so I'm probably now in the middle of it, right?
It doesn't
It's okay.
matter. Welcome anywhere.
Thank you. Hello.
What is your good name?
My good name is Julie.
Julie. Welcome, Julie.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so there is you're the perfect time.
Okay, good. Always the perfect
So
time, right?
can we call this unity consciousness?
Unity? I did not speak about unity.
Yeah, I speak.
The one?
Yeah? No, not the one. The fact that the self is yourself.
Yeah. So I want to just to tell her shortly. I'm using often the 0 and 1. 0 is like absolute being or whatever, and the 1 is 1. So it's about knowing from where it is spoken from 0 or from 1. The 0 that you are does not need anything, but the 1 may need to practice or do that.
And
So
0 from your neutral place and 1 from some kind of identity.
yes, this is the 1.
Yes. Okay.
But the 0 has no 0. The absolute being that we are is already perfect now. The idea is like that. We don't need to reach anything to be what we are. We are already that now, right?
Yes.
There is a relaxation in that. But the one thing that he has to do something to be what. But this belief may drop.
Hopefully.
So coming back to what you said, just to make that she can follow. The unity.
Yeah, you were saying that the body self is this not body self, Buddha self, Jesus self. It was the same.
The self is the self, whether
So,
Buddha, yours, or whoever.
In some things I read sometimes, or some meditation, global, like worldly meditation, like everybody meditating at the same time in the world. There's this concept of unity consciousness.
Concept, you said the word, right?
Yeah.
Concept. So can a concept penetrate 0?
Because
concept
for me,
is already out of 0, right? So if you could pick up a concept, then you're cooked already. But if you don't pick up anything, well,
maybe is just a way to explain. Like you have the 0 and 1 concept.
Yes, but it has. But 0 is no concept. 0 is not a concept. Is no concept. It's like nothing. It's a neti. Nothing can penetrate the neti, right? It's an absolute machine. Just auto-destructor Shiva power, and anything try to come in. No, neti cannot come in, right? So if you put unity there, nothing can be there where we are.
For me, it seems similar.
No, it's different, because unity, if you speak about unity, then you have duality. You have the opposite of unity. And it's like he was saying, the power of now, Eckhart Tolle, or the I amness, like Karl Renz is speaking, is this a state of consciousness? But it's just a state of consciousness. It's not 0. So unity is like it's like a space, like there is no I. So you feel like unity. The I disappears, right? But still space is there. But it's a state of consciousness. There is still space. In 0 there is no space. What you are is beyond the concept of unity. Anyway, it's easy if you don't touch it, if you don't grasp. Either you are in the trilogy of the knower knowing what is known. You split yourself into 3, or into 2, the subject object. But if you don't split yourself, you cannot grasp anything. Now you can do, maybe you can squeeze yourself, not squeeze, but you withdraw attention, self-inquiry, and the 3 is not there and the 2 is not there. Can you do that now? Then nothing can be. Unity has no space. Yes, it's already a step too much. So whatever is talk here is not about really understanding something. It's more like no understanding will help. Maybe for the 1, but not for 0. What you are does not need to understand anything. Also, in that there is relaxation, because you don't need to go anywhere. You're already here. So you can see the body-mind has to do his karma, to do and go wherever it has to go, but we don't have to follow that. You can stay here always. This here-ness, which is beyond time and space. So what you are is not moving. You are the eternity, and you don't have to follow the dream. The dream will go on, but you can stay here. Or sometimes you may forget that you are here, but it's fine. When you again find yourself, you say, oh, I'm here. I was dreaming, So dream is going on, but you never left here. We're already in Eden, Garden of Eden. So, and God said, don't touch the apple, don't bite the apple. The tree of knowledge. And the tree of knowledge is to go into the mind and to split ourselves into the experiencer experiencing what is experienced, or the subject-object. This is the tree of knowledge. But if we don't bite into that, where are we? This is paradise here. This is already Eden is here, it's not somewhere else. So samsara become nirvana, but not later. Now you can see that samsara and nirvana is the same thing. It's not separate. It seems to be separate from these eyes, lying eyes, are not telling these eyes are not telling the truth. But something prior to that is the zero-ness of our being feels that we never moved. We never moved.
And yet, why do we see then the difference between some guy and Lord Buddha or Ramana?
Because it is appearing in the dream, different. More pure, more this, less vasanas, mind tendency. But mosquitoes are there? If you want to put that.
Around me, actually. Yeah, no. Okay, thank you.
So the differences can only be in time and space. Difference without time and space. Can there be any difference? So no. Difference is in space, and change is in time.
But we're experiencing
difference and difference and difference in space and change in time, related to time and space. These are two qualities of time and space: change and differences. But in the here-ness of what we are, or the zero-ness, no change, no difference. So the self of Ramana is the same as yours, as mine, as yours.
Right, but we're experiencing subjective reality. Like I have my own, you have your own.
Yes, but it doesn't mean it's real. This is what I told you. This is an assumption. What appears to be real is real. This is an equation that we made. But is it true that what appears real is real? Then you question that. This is self-inquiry. Right?
And if you do that, would the state change, or would the body change?
They may do, or not, but it's still in the dream. But then it's not your business anymore, because you see that the free will is illusory. Mm-hmm. Because when you question I, and I is seen as not real, then there cannot be free will without I, right? So it's happening by itself. So you don't mind the body may change into gold or light or whatever, but as a self you don't mind anything.
Yeah.
You don't need to reach any state.
Is there a way to destroy the dream completely, to end subjective reality?
By seeing that it's not real, in a way you kill it. Only by you seeing. You see that it's all, that samsara is nirvana.
So your experience must change, no? It must be evolving into something new.
Or not. But it is in the dream. A change is in the dream.
Yeah,
in time and space. But for what you are, it doesn't make any difference.
Sure.
Because they cannot be different in the self.
Yes, I'm in agreement completely. But the dream changes, which is my subjective reality.
Yes, but if there is if I tell you yes, then if there is an expectation, it will be less heavy or this or that, then you enter into the dream again and confirm the reality of the will. Mm-hmm. But by seeing that it's appearing as real, but not real, then you don't have an idea of controlling it or waiting for a change. Because waiting for a change is waiting for heaven, as it's said in the church. But if you cut that, say, no, I'm that now. Bas, finish, over. I'm not expecting any change. Whatever is coming, I'm welcome. From zero, what I am. Whatever karma, destiny is coming, welcome. Good, bad, enjoying. But the tendency of the mind is to avoid to be here. Because the first one who came out of zero came with him the fear of disappearing. And when the first one created different other ones, then the fear to lose other ones. So the fear is the mother of all wounds. The first I came with the first God came with the fear of losing itself. Who am I? I'm afraid to disappear. Who is this one which came out? Who is this one? And every morning we wake up with this one. Who is this one? Again, he came back. Shit. So, the fear. When you see what I put on the poster, when the tendency of avoidance is seen to be here, because the mind doesn't like to be here. He wants to be everywhere, to have his attention on objects. But to be here is hell for the mind. So, but when you see that tendency of avoidance, and why it is avoiding? Because fear is there. Fear to exist is the existential fear is with the I, right? But when you see that and you stop avoiding and you're ready to look fear into the eyes, eye to eye, fear, I don't fear you. So from your fearlessness of eternity that you are daring to look to fear. And then you see it's not real. This fear is just an imagined fear, came out with the eye. But if you never look, if you still go away, then you will never see what it is. It's nature. And that's what the mind is doing, is running away in any direction to avoid itself. And to avoid to see this first fear of existing, of dying. The fear of dying, the fear of living is the same in reverse. The fear of enjoying, because if I enjoy something, I'm afraid to lose it. So it's always about, anything is about fear. But to play that game, then it doesn't work.
Yeah, it's so funny. Fear of everything. Fear of dying, fear of living, fear of
enjoying, fear of not enjoying. The nature of the eye, the first eye is fear.
It's so ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, but because we avoid it. But when you have the strength as a self, that nothing can cut you, burn you, and you are the eternity of, beyond time and space, you are the zero, or the self, then from that, you feel that nothing can happen to what you are. Maybe to this body or mind, but to what you are, nothing can happen. Then you open your eyes and you look at the fear and say, who are you? And you face it. You don't escape. You don't need to do a therapy to go and search for fear. No. Just when you are here, when it comes, it can take a phase of sadness, depression, anger, any second, third generation wound. But the original wound is the wound of fear and of separation. So, but by running away, we in a way fuck ourselves, right? Because we want to avoid, but then we entertain the game.
But how come that? How do you get this? You said nothing can happen if you face a fear, and then you will find out that actually nothing can happen to me, and this fear can.
Not to me, to what you are.
Yeah.
To you, maybe. To the person, I don't know. But if you have you as what you are, which is indestructible, nothing can happen to what you are. The self, yourself. Maybe something can happen to the person.
But this is also like, let's say, like lots of pain in the body. I mean, this is something to fear, right? If we have it, like.
Yes, So
unpleasant.
yes, Buddha. What Buddha was running away from? He saw that there was suffering and death and old age. These are three things. He was in his kingdom, and the king wanted to preserve him. But one day, so the king was organizing some trip outside, and then he saw somebody sick, and said, "What is this?" Because he didn't know. The king, his father wanted to preserve him from seeing sickness, oldness, or dying. Then he saw a sick guy, somebody. Said, "What is that?" "Oh, it's nothing." But somebody said, "No, he's sick." "What is sick?" And then so an old person like this with a stick, he said, "What is this?" "This is an old man." "I never seen that. What it is?" "But you will also be like this." And for sickness also, he told him, "You will also have this." And then somebody with a funeral, "What is this?" "It's dead person." "Dead person? What is that? I never seen that." I said, "You will also die." And he said, "No, I don't want that, I don't want that, I don't want that, none of them." So he went on a search. He wanted to avoid that. Then for many, many years he was practicing sadhana, this, and he tried everything. And then my experience that nothing works. Then you see that nothing works, then you give up. And you see that you already that, which is prior to the experience of suffering, old age, or dying. So the seeing of Buddha is the same as, is not different. You see, realize you already zero, or the self. And you cannot, the one cannot escape the will. The one may suffer old age and dying in the appearance of the game for the one. But for what we are, it's not happening. Because time and space is the base of time and space. Were you here when I was talking about the mirage in the desert? No? That whatever happened in time and space, time and space is like a mirage. Because tomorrow and there, you can never reach. It's like a mirage. So you reach tomorrow, then tomorrow disappear. You reach there, anywhere, it disappears. You're always here and now. You cannot avoid that. So the base of all time and space is a mirage. So whatever, if you catch that, whatever happens in the mirage is a mirage. So no experience is real. No biggest enlightenment.
Mirage, you mean mirror by mirage?
Mirage. Mirage.
Where you see trees and things, but not
Like
Fatamorgana, yeah.
Yes.
Are you native English?
No, I'm German.
German?
Yeah.
Okay. So in English it's mirage, right?
Mirage.
Mirage.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm wrong. Thank you. Mirage. But so you understood.
Okay.
Do we need to train the mind to keep, because as you said, the mind keeps going to different places. It wants to be everywhere, it attaches itself to objects. So shouldn't we train the mind to go back home, to stay in the zero?
The mind cannot, you can only train the one. Any training practice is for the one.
For the one, yeah.
The zero does not need, that you are does not need anything.
Right. So
that is a catch.
Okay.
But at the same time, if you want to make the dream more comfortable, then you can, like string from the subject to object. You pull the strings of the object, your attention, to the subject. Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
isn't
this
that
is self-inquiry. Huh?
Isn't that our sadhana then? That self-inquiry to keep pulling back?
Yes. Any practice is about the attention which is scattered, to unscatter the attention to bring back to the center.
Okay.
And when you are in the center, which seems to be I, you question, am I, or who am I, or is that true, or whatever inquiry, and you question the existence of the I. And then, when you look, the I disappear, and you may realize you're already zero. So you pull the string of attention. Attention is a quality. We call it in Sanskrit surat. Like what I was practicing for 20 years is a meditation on inner light and sound. Surat Shabd Yoga. So meditation, the yoga of attention on light and sound. Light and sound, which is the word of the Bible, right? So in the Bible it is written, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. In the beginning. But prior to the beginning, what is there? Zero or self, right? But the first sprout is the Word. So in Advaita we call this the first I, or in Sant Mat we call this the Word, or any tradition like the Bible, the Word. And it's expressed in light and sound. Right? So this practice is like you connect with the light and sound and bring your attention back. Also the same. Now I see no difference between any practice. All practices are about bringing attention to the center. And then you question the existence of the center. Who is this center? I. Are you the center? Are you not the center of the world?
Yes.
I am too. You too. Everybody believes is the center of the world, right? So there is an I here, like individual camera. It's like God having put individual cameras, and we cannot escape that in the movie.
So the feeling the feeling I have of evolution, my evolution, I have the feeling I have evoluted. I have the feeling I'm more aware than 10 years ago. Is it linked to this capacity to pull those objects to?
Yes, you're more centered probably, but for whom is it addressed to? For the one.
Yeah, I understood.
So this is a catch. So this is really, yes, the one might be less scattered and more able to hear. So usually it goes like that. You can have an ear to catch that you already that. When you have, maybe most of the time it's like that, practice enough, suffered sadhana as is, but it's not necessarily like that. You know, like Ramana, he was 16 and it happened like that, but who knows which past life he had. So
he
it might be
trained, perhaps.
Huh?
Maybe he came already very
yes
trained.
For me there is no, it's like a kind of readiness, but
through past sadhana, maybe he was born very ready.
Yes, possibly, but this is in the dream. But for what we are, there is no difference. It happens by itself. Zero realizes itself by itself with the self.
So, from what I'm hearing from this, and from what from all the teachers I've heard before too, and even from the Vedic scriptures and the Upanishads and all that stuff, the Upasana or the sadhana which you're prescribing sounds good to me, and it sounds very much in line with the Upanishadic Upasana. I hope that I don't get struck down if I say it, but to me anyway, in my personal, it sounds pretty good.
The practice?
Yeah. The so-called practice.
Yeah, it's like a coffee. Sometimes there is a coffee which is good also. You say, oh, it's good.
It sounds in line with what the rishis have said. Yeah. There's only one thing which I'm concerned about, or questioning or challenging is, if we take Lord Buddha's or Ramana's experience for an instant, my understanding is that they were so evolved and so well trained already that in Buddha's nirvana, or in Ramana's nirvana when he was 16, or in Adi Shankara's nirvana when he was 8, or Wangpo, whoever we want to take from all over the world, when that true moment of nirvana happened, subjective reality was swallowed up and disappeared in that instant, never to return. So it's as if they went into deep sleep, never to wake up again. The dream ended. Totally ended.
Yes, very interesting point. Because who is that one? For whom is it ending? Who is that one who pretends that it is ending? No one.
Yeah.
So no one, can we call it zero? The absolute?
The absolute was already
absolute?
Absolute.
Okay,
correct?
so do Do you think it's possible the absolute is not manifesting itself
Yes.
in the dream?
definitely.
Will it stop?
No.
So who is that one who pretends that it's over forever?
Yes, the one is dead, is it? Or
Yes,
liberated, whatever.
yes, but what he is not the one. What he is the self.
Only.
And the self is already manifesting. Let's say Buddha is here, or anyone pretends that is done.
Yeah.
But his nature is what? The self.
Yeah.
And the self is still here, manifesting here in the dream. But so any awakening is in the dream, because the self is always dreaming. Who pretends that it's over forever? A permanent enlightenment. It's not real.
But there's no... The one who had the... Like, let's say now there's a one. His name is Neve. He has this one, this Neve, this body,
Yeah.
has nothing to do with zero. Zero is eternally
Zero.
zero. But there's a jerk who thinks he's like a person, and he has a subjective reality. For my understanding, it is said that this one ends, like there is no more need, there's no more subjective reality.
Good, but who are you really? What is your real self? Zero or one?
My real self is the self.
Is
the
this
zero.
self? Oh, so can you, now I speak to yourself, not to the one. I'm talking to you as zero. Can you stop manifesting yourself in the dream?
I can't seem to stop it because look, I'm still here.
Yes, so it's not real. The idea of enlightenment is an idea. Because the self cannot stop manifesting itself.
Oh, okay. So you.
So
don't
yourself, even now, if I pretend this is enlightened, right?
Uh-huh.
But who is there here? Is it not myself here? So this pretend to be enlightened, and there myself is not enlightened here, but it's enlightened here. It's nonsense.
No, but so you don't think that, let's say, for Ramana, subjective reality ended? You think that he still lived and saw things and?
But
experienced-
for Ramana, the body Ramana,
Yeah.
it ended when his body died in the dream. But for the self of Ramana,
No, not for the self.
the self of Ramana is manifesting as this, as this, as this, as this. It's not a different self. So what is realization has brought? If it was a real manifestation, this body would not be here. Is it not so?
If it was a real manifestation.
If it was a real self-realization, if the self say, "Oh, I'm realized forever," then the self will not manifest again. He saw his mistake, or so.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not real. The Ramana self is here now, manifested in this form, this form, this form, this
So
form.
the zero manifests as the one?
Yes, in the dream.
But the zero has nothing to do with the dream. It's perfect and infinite and... you
Yes,
find
but
it
he's
supporting-
dreaming to be one. He's dreaming to be one. He's an absolute dreamer. So zero is dreaming to be one, right?
Can we end the dream completely?
No,
So it continues...
because it never started. When you have the idea to stop it, you create a beginning, and you're in time. But we don't go into the split of the mind, and you see you're always that. Whether you are present or absent. When you are aware or not aware, you are that, anytime. Whether Ramana body is alive or not, you are that. Whether the self is in this form, you are that. Whatever happens, you are always that.
So is there any sense in training the mind or doing anything? Like, then it wouldn't make a difference.
It doesn't make any difference for
Like, I
what
can be
you
a
are.
sinner, so-called, I can be a killer,
Yes.
a rapist, anything.
For the self, it doesn't make any difference.
That, no, we can't talk about the self. Of course, the self doesn't make a difference. But for the one who's experiencing things, the one,
It is different, yes.
it's different. Like,
Yes.
because if I become a rapist or a murderer, I'm going to go through tremendous suffering
Yes,
within the dream.
But you have a choice to be like this or like this.
Yeah, I can decide, okay, I'm not going to
You can decide in the dream, but
In the
when you
dream.
question the reality of I, do you have a choice
to question.
to act like this or like this? When you see that there is no I in reality, you see that it's just happening by itself. Nobody in reality, if you see from behind,
Uh-huh.
you see that nobody has a choice to do what he's doing. You cannot want what you want. It's happening by itself.
Is it possible for me to kill someone while being in this state of seeing? This kind of pure state of... Or would I automatically...
The
act
pure state, you mean the
super
self? The self?
No, self is behind, supporting it all.
Yes.
But the I, the one who's in front, because I'm still seeing him high.
Yeah, you know what happened to this guru? They have the highest awareness and they fall down to sex, power, money,
Yeah.
because they try to stay there. It's not the natural state, the zero-ness or the self. But most of the masters, guru, they want to stay somewhere, state of realization. Then they have to shift, and then they can find themselves with doing any wrong things regarding the morality or something like that.
Yeah.
You see?
So is there any value to morality? Or
Sorry?
is there any value to morality then? Any value to...
No, morality is for the one again. But when you see that there is nobody doing anything, then it's just... morality is good and bad, right? But to say it's good and bad, you have to go in the split mind, in 3 or 2, right? But if you don't go there, what is good and bad? Where is morality when you don't go in your mind?
There is none, but I automatically know what to not do, let's say.
Yeah, but this is a conditioning. This is a conditioning for the one, right?
It's more than that. It's something even prior to that, isn't it? Because it cannot be dharmic to kill for no reason, let's say, if we take that extreme example. So wouldn't this body automatically follow the dharma and live such a pure life? Like it is said that Bhagavan Ramana's life was bordered perfection, I've heard people say.
But he said himself that it's better to be vegetarian for beginners.
Okay.
I don't eat meat and I feel hard to see people eating meat, but I know that for the self it doesn't matter.
Yes.
And in this idea of having a pure life and like this, you know Kabir, you know Saint Kabir?
I heard of him.
Yes. I never met him physically, but I... So he was saying the idea of purity makes you impure.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of purity makes you impure. And he was living in Varanasi, and he was denouncing all the priests, whether Hindu or Muslim. He was denouncing everything. We say in English to denounce?
Yeah.
Yes. Because the idea of purity makes you impure. Because you put you somewhere and you separate yourself. You already land in some idea. What is the idea of purity? It's an idea. But for the self...
It is said that if we live a pure life, it'll be easier for us to do sadhana, like to pull.
Right. This is what Ramana also said. It's a help for the one.
Yeah.
But at some point, if you see that first you are that already, that you have no free will, it's an illusion, then it is unfolding by itself. So who will be the one who has a need of purity? Who needs the purity? Who needs the purity?
one.
The one.
Only until you realize that he's the self.
Yes.
But we haven't. Have we realized we're the self? Because it is said that if you
What are
realize
you
you're
now?
the self, but if I cannot. I don't really, because it is said that if I really realize, it's finished. The dream is done.
No, it's wrong. It's because you catch. If I was really what you said, if I was really that now.
I know I'm that, but I know it intellectually, not actually, not physically.
But why not actually?
Because of the impurities, the vasanas.
No. Because you grasp the thought that you are, it's only mental. You grasp the belief that it's only mental, that you are that.
Because I'm seeing that this dream isn't ending.
Yes, but you go into your mind to consider that.
The mind is still alive.
Yes, but does it prevent you to be what you are?
In a sense, kind of.
But why do you catch this one now? You see? Each time you grasp one more. I tried to show you to not catch any thought. Each time you go somewhere.
Yeah.
But if you don't catch anything, are you not what you are now? If you don't catch anything. Or see if something is coming. And try to not catch it. The mind is a monkey, he tries to catch every fruit. But if you don't catch any thought, where are you? Are you not here already? Are you not what you are?
Yes.
That's it. Bas, Katam, Ogya.
So
Finish.
sadhana ends here, or we can...
Yes. Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
But this can't be.
You see, why you grasp this one? Why you take this one? This can't be. What is it? It's a thought. If you don't take it, where are you? It can't be. Who is speaking? You know, thoughts are like clouds. You know, you have pink clouds, blue, yellow, red, and it's very nice movie coming. It's like supermarket. And what we do is a thought, a cloud is coming, a pink one, and you go and you take as your cloud. You know, my thought, or you can take it like as a cloth. Thoughts are like clothes, and a clothes is coming, and you take it on, and you say I. Or it cannot be. I say it cannot be that I'm already that. It cannot be so simple. It cannot be so simple. Isn't not what the mind say?
No, this one isn't saying that exactly. It's saying there must still be sadhana, because I don't remain in that state moment to moment.
Don't buy that one. You still like to buy in the supermarket. That's the only thing. Rama said for moksha, liberation, the only thing you have to get rid of is that to get rid of the idea that you're in bondage. If you don't catch this one, that's over. It's only like a supermarket. You know, yesterday I was saying like that, but it was different people, so I can repeat. In the church, Jesus came in a temple, and there was sellers, and he came with anger and he was kicking the table. What are you doing in the kingdom of my father? Can you imagine anybody doing that here, coming into the temple and kicking everything, saying, "What are you doing?" But anyway, so this fire is a supermarket. It's like Carrefour supermarket or whatever name you want to. And we are used to buy all this thought and belief and notion and concept. But when you don't buy anything, when you have the fire of Jesus to kick the nitty, you don't buy it. I'm tired. I'm so tired of this mind, I don't buy anything. So whatever the mind say, you are not that yet, or you need to practice, you need sadhana, you burn everything. And with your fire, I'm that now. I'm tired of postponing. And why do I postpone? Who is postponing? It's I. Because I is afraid to be here. Because of the fear. The fear of questioning his own existence. So why is grasping the thought? Because he does not want to question his existence. Unreal. He does not want to see it as unreal. So he's grasping thoughts to confirm his existence. But when you are tired enough, you see the business. And you stop buying. And you stay here. And you don't move. The body and mind may move, but you don't need to move. And you never moved. It's so simple, but the mind is dreaming, no? So the mind is dreaming, say, oh, I cannot be here, I'm not this, I need that, I there. No, it's not possible that it's so simple. It's just commentaries. TV program. But when you stop, and you look where you are, oh, I've always been here. You know why it's so simple? Because the mind is complicated. That's all. But it's more than simple. Because you are that. What can be more simple to be what you are? Nothing more simple than that. But the mind is avoiding. So to see this tendency of avoidance, that is the main thing.
So we need to cultivate this seeing?
Yes, for some time.
Yeah.
But this is still for the one who needs that practice.
Yes.
It's like the last practice. But at the same time, simultaneously, you can have the awareness as the zero awareness that you already done at the same time. But you can use inquiry, meditation, but maybe with a sense that you don't need it. You don't do it for what you are. Maybe to help the one to release it, to be less tense. Like you...
Without attachment.
No, without goal, without intention.
Goal, yes.
No intention. So
No
if you do it
condition.
without intention, because you with the awareness that you are already that, so it doesn't matter what you do or not do, and it's not you who is doing it anywhere, you are being done by life. Life is doing you. When the I is questioned, you see that you are being done, you are being thought, but you are not thinking, you are not doing. Then you are holiday already.
Is this what they call viveka?
Discrimination.
Discrimination.
But discrimination is for the one.
Yes.
Zero does not mean anything.
Yeah.
What you are does not mean anything. That's, you see, it makes simple. When I speak 0 and 1, it makes things more simple. This is my experience, so I share like that. Then you say, oh, yes. It goes from 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5. Right?
Has your experience then changed since from the beginning of using or practicing this, and like let's say now, let's say 10 years ago, or whenever one may start to, they will as if become a different person, no? The one will change.
Yes, but it's better to see it as non-important, because when we give importance to that, then we go back into the one too much, believing that the one can be, then we can start again to this purity, that, oh, I will be the awakened one or something. So to cut the string, it's better to not mind, not care about how the one is changing. Yes, you can notice, like for example, what I notice is like the magic. There is more magic in life. The more you are here, and then everything seems more and more magic, right? But this is in the dream. If you take it for something important and you get attached to it, like if you go from physical plane to astral plane, then there's so much beauty. You would see so much beauty. You can, like my previous masters were saying, with the sound, when you want to go from the physical to the astral to the causal, you can stay stuck forever in astral, because the beauty that is there is compared to here, it's like, so you can stay stuck anywhere. Any notion, any experience. But the only thing which is always there is the self, what we are, in any high or low, whatever experience. And you can be Indra, the god Indra, and next time you can be a ant. There is a story in India like this of the poet, I forgot his name, but he was saying, oh, you were Indra and now you're ant. So it's just, you cannot understand how karma and these things are working in the dream. But what you can see, but in a seeing without a seer. This seeing is not with a seer seeing sin. It's a seeing, absolute seeing. And you are that, and whatever is, so it's okay or not, but okay also, it means not amen to everything, It's said to say yes also to the reaction of this phantom, the phantom I. So he's upset with something, it's about being truly yourself, relatively yourself. Because usually what we do, we put mask, because we are afraid to be ourselves. Inside I want to say fuck you, but outside I'm like that. But inside it's fuck you. So am I real? I want to show I am a saint, or I'm a smiling, a shining one. But when you are absolutely relative, so the absolute is hidden in the relative, without mask. You see? But we are afraid to be So we add some layers to the dream. Instead of being without mask ourselves, we put some mask. And then we add layers in the dream and go further into the dream with so many masks and protection and this and that. So being yourself, not fearing to be yourself. Again, fear. Not fearing to be yourself. So that's why if you pretend to be a saint or whatever, I've been doing a lot of meditation on this and dressing in white. I know this also. I've been through that. But then you need to pretend, because sometimes it's not like this. But you are so used to have this, and suddenly some crazy stuff comes and say, oh, what I do with that? Because you are not yourself. You have to pretend to some point.
It also helps, right, when because you don't put so much importance anymore on the outer world. It becomes
it doesn't
so
matter.
Big anymore, and then you rather are willing to show who you are, right?
You don't mind.
You don't mind.
You don't mind because you know it's a dream, and you know it's not you doing it. Moreover, so when you are yourself, when you are not yourself, with mask, then the energy gets stuck in the system somewhere and creates also disease and trouble and this and that. But when you are yourself, without mask, then the energy is flowing. If you have anger and you want to say fuck off to someone, if you say it, the system is released immediately. Like a duck, like Eckhart Tolle say, when you see duck on the lake, they fight, and after the fight they do poo 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 poo, and it's over, and after they kiss each other or they go wherever. But they express, afterwards, and they check whatever is there, and it is not staying in the system. This is the advantage of being yourself. But when you think something, or you need to express something, but you behave like a saint, then you keep this in your system. And after 10 years, what the cocoa pressure, and that's what happened to some masters, because they have to pretend to be there. But what they do with this stuff, at some point the cocoa pressure explodes, and then they come back to whatever is there, and it happens. Like there was a yogi near the Ganga. It's a story in India, and he was meditating since 500 years in perfect samadhi, and he could not be disturbed by anything. But then suddenly he heard cling, cling, the dancing girl with some metal thing. He said, no, I cannot. Look at that, I'm strong. And again, cling, cling. And then he started to open his eyes. He said, no, I cannot open my eyes. And then the stories go on that they had children and get married or whatever. It's a story. But to say that if you maintain a state of consciousness or samadhi, it's temporary. It's in the dream. Even samadhi is in the dream. What you are does not need to be in samadhi. It may or not, but you don't mind being in samadhi or being in the physical or wherever. You don't mind. Yourself don't mind anything.
What exactly? How do you define the dream? What does the dream make the dream?
Can you repeat?
Because you always speak about the dream, just for me to get clear what exactly, how you define the dream, what makes the dream
of time and space. So I will explain again shortly. When you are in the desert, you are thirsty, you see an oasis, you want to get water, but when you come, you see it's a mirage, it disappears, and again you will see another one, you try to reach, it disappears. It's the same. Tomorrow, when you reach tomorrow, you arrive tomorrow, it disappears, it's now. And there, the same for space. When you arrive there disappear, and you're here. It seems to exist. When you are here, tomorrow and there seems to exist. But when you reach them, they disappear. Like a mirage. So if the base of any experience is fake, it's like a mirage, so any experience within that mirage is a mirage. That's easy. So, this is a mirage. It seems to exist. It appears to be real, like when you dream. It appears to be real when you dream, but when you come out of the dream, you see, oh, it was not real. Same here. It appears to be real, but it doesn't mean it is real.
This paradigm.
Sorry?
This part I never understand. I don't know. Why does it make it a dream, and how are we so sure that this is the dream? And just because, okay, now from now perspective there will be tomorrow. Okay, when I'm there, then this, of course, this is then gone. It's just over. But why does it then become all a dream? I don't know. I don't get this part.
Because
somehow.
time and space. Can you see that time and space seem to exist? But for you, is it real for you, or can you question? Are you ready to question the existence of time and space?
Yes, I can question that. But this is the most real, more real it won't get, right? Anyway.
Yes, it seems really real, but does it mean it is real?
But what is realer than this?
What is in Advaita? What is real? What has no beginning and no end. Whatever has a beginning and an end is not real. In Advaita language, this is how we speak, to make sure. What has a beginning and an end is in time and space, so it is not real. So whatever has a beginning and an end, so all this has a beginning and an end.
But do you feel it like this, or is this just like because it's written somewhere?
No, it's a seeing. It's a seeing. It's a seeing.
So what is then real? This is not real? This is not happening right now?
It's not happening. It seems to happen. When you go to the cinema, you see there is a wall, a screen, and you shoot the film. And you cry, and you laugh, and you whatever. But is there anything happening?
In this moment, when I watch the movie, it's not.
It's not really happening, but it seems real to you.
It's a movie, but how do we know that?
No, but listen, slow down.
Sorry.
When you watch a movie, it seems real or not real to you? Do you not cry or this? You forget that it's not real. Sometimes, maybe not all the time, but sometimes you just forget it's not real, and you're there, and it seems real, but because it seems real doesn't mean that it is real. It's an assumption, we call this in English. Because it seems real, then it is real. It's an equation, but if you are a truth seeker, then you can question that equation. Is that true? What appears real is real. Is that true? How can you know that it's true or not?
And we cannot know. From my perspective, it cannot be known because...
Yes, it can be known if you question it. Is it true?
So you were questioning it, and now you know that it's a dream? Out of your inquiry, you found that out?
Yes, but it's not something mental. As I told you, it's more like a seeing, and it's not mental. First, it is mental. You are explained like you, maybe for now it's like that. For you, it's an explanation, and your mind is not accepting it, right? Now. But the first step is to dare to question it. Are you ready to question that? It's like when I was maybe 15, I opened an astrology book on Chinese astrology, and it was written. There is a time like that, linear, past, present, future. And then fine, because it was my education, right? Then I turned the page and I saw a circle, the Chinese view of this just eternal circle. Not in a linear way. When I saw that picture, my mind freaks out and I could not sleep the whole night. It destroyed my whole this setup. But after it came back and then I forgot somehow. But it was already an insight. So for you, this is what's happening. The mind does not want to question it. You want to hold. It is real. How can you say it's not real? But it's not about stating it is real or unreal. It's about daring to question it. Now for you, it's where you are. Are you ready to question it?
Yes, I'm ready to question.
That's all?
Definitely.
Yes, so you don't need to believe me. it would be wrong, because any teacher would tell you something, you will take it for granted. No, now don't believe anything. Just be ready to question it, and that's all. You don't need to believe it. Otherwise, you buy something and it's no. Now, if you're ready, question it. Look, question. Is that true? Is that real? With this thing, you will see what happened. Now it's like an information I give you, but I felt when I talk about. You want to go? Yeah, you can go. You're free.
Okay. Bye.
What's your name?
Manela. She's a friend. When I spoke to you about zero absolute, you felt. I know when there is something which is relating from 0 to 0, heart to heart. You cannot deny, right? So I know your zeroness respond, recognize, right? This mind also is recognizing, right? But what's come afterwards, the mind? No, it cannot be true, this, that, and questioning, and this. All this come afterwards. But the recognition or something is there. So it doesn't matter, it's normal. It's like resistance, mind trying to understand, to catch what it cannot catch. So it's normal. But something more important happened before. When you came at the beginning, in a few minutes I saw you got it, right? And the rest is happening afterwards.
It's just, maybe it's one of the most scary things also to say, like, this is not happening. You know, this is like, wow, okay, this is what then? This is like, in one sentence, like...
So it's caring for who?
Yeah, for the I, obviously, of course.
You know self-inquiry?
I know that...
So that's it.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, this is obvious. But nevertheless, something, it does something to me. Whenever I hear this...
So what does it to you?
This is not happening. Like...
What do you feel?
Yeah, there's like, then what? Because I cannot grasp anything else than this is happening, and still it seems so real to me.
To me. But then if you, instead of following the thought, you bring attention back to me, I, and you don't move from there. And you see what happened. You stay here, but what might prevent you to stay here is a fear. Because you understand that the I does not want to question his own existence. It's only that, the base of all of it, the I does not want to question his own existence. Does not want to question this. Because his identity is made by that, by the dream. So if you say to I, this is not real, it appears to be real, then the I is freaking. Freaking means fear. But are you daring to face that fear, eye to eye?
Sure.
Then that's all. And you stay there, and you don't run away. As Bob Marley said, running away, but you can't run away from yourself. The mind is trying hard to run away, but how long? How many? You can go in time, how many lifetimes? But if you see it now, in a split second, that you're already that. And the dream will continue.
But that is real.
What you are is real. What you are is absolutely real. This is the reality. What you are. And this, nothing can burn you. Nothing can cut you. Nothing can do any pain to you. Nothing can do anything. Nothing can happen to you. Only in the dream to that character. But for you, what you are, zero, nothing can happen to you. You are dreaming to be one. So you can dream anything. You will dream also that at some point this will die, as we say, or getting old. But you're the zero dreaming the one being old or sick or whatever. But for you as zero, nothing happens. You're not in danger. You're not at all in danger. Nothing happened to you. This is the safest place yourself. This is the absolute security. It may happen anything to this or to this world or to whatever in the cinema movie, but for what you are, is a perfect peace, which does not need peace.
Seems somehow rather like an escape to me. Like, okay, this all is not true, and then trying to escape somewhere.
No, this is the opposite.
I know, yeah, somehow yes, but it appears to me.
Because who is speaking? The me. It appeared to me. Me is saying. He tried to speak to you, to the zero or the self, and to say, you're trying to run away. But what is the message, underlying message? He said, you try to take me out of the business. You are questioning my existence. This is what is underlying the message. You know that? You see that?
Yes, somehow yes.
If you hear the truth, somebody say, I love you, and behind is saying, fuck you. You might hear the energy behind, you know? The same. The mind is saying something. It's like escaping. But if you, from your heart, you listen well, it doesn't sound right. It's just lying. It's just the devil is trying to, he doesn't want to stop the game. So you can hear, if your ear is open, you can hear what is true from where it is coming. The mind will try all the tricks because it's afraid. But at the same time, simultaneously, you are 0 and 1, dreaming to be 1. So even if the 1 is freaking, you can rest in your zeroness. So you are both, because especially here in Arunachala, it might intensify that. So, but nothing can happen to you, to what you are. That is a beauty, it's a game, it's a lila of God. We call this a lila of God. It's
Maybe
a game.
This also needs to be like experience. And then after a while one sees, this of course it's a dream. But now from my state, taking what you say is like, it cannot make sense from the point of view where I'm looking at it, you know?
Yes.
It's obvious. And maybe after a while, I don't know, after some evolution, whatever, it will be seen. Like as a result, then all of a sudden you see, okay, sure, it's all just a dream. But now first questioning this because of such a... doesn't make sense. Forget it.
You see what he's doing?
Yeah.
I even was tired to trying to follow because it's trying to go somewhere like this, you see. But
I got it.
You see? And that's not you, that's the mind. It's not you.
Yeah.
You're here, stable.
It doesn't even matter what I wanted to say.
And it's normal, it's like a reaction, from the mind. So you react. I'm not here. I don't want to be here. And that's such a gift when you can hear that. You see the game is God, the God that we are, the self, dreaming that dream, but knowing that it is not in any trouble. So like Matrix, in Matrix, in the movie, is something like this, and you put the electrode, okay, let's go, boom. You see, and the movie is in the... But then when you come back, do not move. That is a representation of the self, what we are. It doesn't move, just having a trip. So now it's just a trip, we are just tripping. The self is tripping just for fun. So sometimes it's love story, sometimes it's caring, fear, that. But it's tripping. So when you relax and you say, oh my God, it's tripping so hard. sometimes I trip, I am enlightened. Sometimes I trip this. I'm a beggar. I'm a liar. I'm a killer. Sometimes I'm a girl, a man. You know, and I'm tripping all this at the same time, simultaneously. It's not that fun. And nothing happened to me. By dreaming all this, nothing happened to me.
The problem is the mind identifies, and that's where suffering comes from.
Yes, I
identify. Mind.
Identification. I. Who are you? I am Satyam, or this body. I am this. This start from there. Because what? Because your mother was so unkind to tell you that you are that. She had no choice because she believed to be that, so she tell you you are that. And this is your name. But the baby say, what are you saying? You know? I don't understand what you're saying. But the mother repeats 100 times, 1,000 times, you are that. Then you start to say, okay, so, and this is your name is, what is your name again?
Julie.
Julie. This is Julie. So she had to repeat thousands of times before you finally say, okay, she will leave me alone if I accept this is Julie. And then you got into the dream. This is Julie. This is me. This is you. You say to the baby, this is you. This is me. This is you. You say, what are you saying? I'm not. You don't understand when you're a baby. But slowly they push you in that. They have no choice because they believe to be that too. So they try to put you in this box too. Because in the dream it's like that, in there.
And
Yes.
it's necessary, right? I mean, what would happen if we would not do this? But how
Yes,
would it be?
yes,
It would be-
yes.
Somehow it's needed. It's just after a while, it's nice to know it and then
question
somehow
it.
to drop it.
Yes, exactly.
I just, yeah.
But it's nice to see how it happens. Because
Yeah,
people
yeah,
told
yeah.
you that you are that,
Yes, true.
you are this name and this.
Yeah.
And you have to behave like that. Then they program the computer.
Yeah.
You have to be like this, and like this, like this, and you go out and you are like a machine. Oh, my life has to be like this. I have to behave like this. This is good. This is bad. This is a computer. This is just a computer.
Brainwashing.
Yes. So this is just a conditioned computer. But what you are is prior to that. But we are sticking to that because we are afraid. If I'm not that, what am I? So it's fear again. Fear. If I'm not that computer, who am I? But the beauty is that at any time there is not any danger. Even if you are killed tonight, nothing happened to you. You see, it's a beauty. Yeah, so it's yeah, and it's like a dream in several dimensions. So it's not like on the flat screen, but it's like so well made. We have been so creative ourselves. Creating this is just amazing. But when you look, even the scientists, they look in the atom, what is there, what do they find? Emptiness, just sound and light. Sound and light, nothing else than sound and light. And this seems surreal and hard. But when you look with a microscope or machine, you see it's empty. But even if not only spiritual people, but scientists tell us that it is not what we think it is. We have seen with machine, but still we don't believe.
But the thing is, the spiritual people or the sages are really experiencing that there's nothing here. It's their actual experience. And for us, we're just talking about it. It's kind of cerebral, isn't it?
Superimposed?
Cerebral.
It
Like,
can be.
like more mental, let's say, than it's not a real experience. Because otherwise we'd be able to put our hand through it. And some of these yogis have actually put their hand through it.
No, but this is still these powers.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm not interested into that. This is still in the dream.
Yes, it's still in the dream.
No, there is some laws, and you can overcome them by some practices, but you will lose your time.
Yeah,
You perpetrate the dream.
Yeah, I'm not saying we should be doing these practices.
Yes, so it's better to question, to go to the root. What we are doing now is questioning the root of it, not trying to change the dream, or because it's not so now can gain some power to fly or
Right.
to become big. This is CD, we call that,
Yeah.
powers. But powers it's a distraction.
Yes.
And when you do these practices to gain powers, CDs, you are not questioning this an avoidance. Again,
Right.
this is an escape.
I agree with that.
Yes.
What
So
I
now we are in a space of seeing that to not escape ourselves.
what I'm claiming is that something in the equation has to be missing because we're still experiencing something. And it is said that Advaita is one without a second, where the sun does not shine, nor the moon, nor the stars. Nothing is there.
So when there is not the 3 and the 2, you're already there.
But there's still duality there.
No? When you don't go into the 1 experiencing what is experienced, or the subject-object relationship, if you can do it now,
There's
well,
still an experience.
for me there is no duality.
But there is some sort of experience, even a subtle experience. It's still there,
Yes, but it is, yes, but
which means it's still not.
yes,
Advaita. It's on the way.
Yes.
Maybe it's the way there.
but the way is in the dream. So the catch is to not go into that consideration and to see that you are already that now, to be. Anything else is too much. Other than being what you are, it's too much. To go into that consideration is already going away.
I understand, but it's still an experience. I'm
It
experiencing.
doesn't matter. For who it matters? For the one who is having the experience. But for what you are, does it make any difference that there is an
It's
experience or
still
not?
telling me that there is something unnatural here because experience.
Unnatural.
Unnatural.
But where do you go to grasp that notion? You see where you went? You went again into the split mind. Unnatural, natural. If you don't go there. It's an habit of the mind to catch one pole of duality, then it creates the other pole. Unnatural, natural.
But I still cannot call this duality. I can't call this Advaita because there is Advaita. There's duality. There's an experience.
But-
Even on the subtle level. There's the three, the triad, the experiencer, experience, and thing experience. It's still there, even in that space of knowing.
Yeah, but each time it's to say that you have to go back to the mind.
Yeah.
If you don't go back to the mind, you are here.
Yeah.
You don't go into, you don't grasp anything. Where is any idea? It's like in the zero-ness of what you are. If you cannot put any notion, so just by being what you are, you kill everything. That's the absolute killer. Being what you are is killing any notion. It's a Shiva power, killing anything try to enter.
Do you think being in if Ramana was here alive and if you and I were sitting close to him, would his presence help us in this so-called practice in the sadhana?
I was not there, but it seems that what people say is his presence was helping that.
Yeah.
But this is still for the one.
Yeah, for the one. Must
Still, again,
Yes,
even
yes.
if it is a high help. But the advantage is you don't need even Ramana Maharishi to be what you are. Now you are. You don't need to wait for another sage to come. You are it now. At least I speak for this one. So it doesn't matter. I have no regret that Ramana Maharishi would be here because maybe it would help to soothe the one, to quiet the mind and this. But for me it's not even a question because I'm at the perfect place at the perfect time. There is no mistake. Mistake only through the mind it is seen as a mistake, should or should not. But from that, no mistake. So I'm at the right place, at the right time, there is no mistake. And I'm that now. And I've always been at the right place and the right time. This is the opposite of what the religion say. You are not. No, it's embedded in our mind. You are not at the right place at the right time. So we are like already the poor guy. and we tell you, if you do something, you can get there, maybe, not sure, heaven. But what is underlying? There is a existential feeling that you are not at the right place at the right time. It is the mind is like this. I'm not at the right place and at the right time.
So what a crime planting this thought in so many, in all humanity.
Yes.
Somehow
It's a brainwash.
running around with this feeling underneath everything.
Yes, exactly. You see it now.
Yeah.
And this is the root cause. But when you question that, and you don't grasp that conditioning, then you realize, no, that's not true. Nothing is true. When you realize that nothing is true, no notion are true about going somewhere to reach or to be yourself or to be paradise or whatever, then you don't catch anything and you are already here.
So we're never angry. Like we can never get angry for in this.
Why not?
Because you're never identified with the one. So you're never given power to even become angry over it.
I don't know. For me, it's not like that. For me, it's like it can shift from the identification. This you can call the one. You can call it the like Yogi Ram. He was calling this the beggar. He said this beggar, to make it clear from the beginning. This beggar, the one. Even as zero, he might have. He was what it was. He realized what he was as zero. But he was still calling this the beggar. Or you can call it the devil. The one is the first devil. And the first devil created other devils. And this devil wants to destroy other devils or to kill them because they are not behaving as this devil wants. So this devil is always wanting to control other devils, that they may touch his feet or behave as this devil wants. And you cannot change that. This is the nature of the one, if you're honest. But then, you see that your nature is prior to that. But you cannot avoid that the one is always trying to get advantage, and this, if you want to try to make it perfect, then you can make it a saint. But the saint is within the dream. It will like be pure or something, but it's not self-realization.
But wouldn't the one automatically become a saint as he
No.
or she?
No, you see, for me, this is not a saint, but I am already that, and I don't need to be a saint to be that. I don't need ego to go to be that. I don't need anything to be what I am.
But wouldn't the one change as a result of sadhana? Like,
Yes, as I told you, it may change, but it's not my concern.
it's not your concern. Yeah, but
Because I am that.
he may become a saint. This one.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
For what I am, it doesn't matter.
Only for others it matters. who see
Yes,
you,
exactly.
interact.
But for what I am, no difference. And because I see the I is an illusion and the free will is an illusion, so I have no choice. So I am not making this to make this a saint, or I'm not doing anything. I just have to be what I am, and then whatever may happen with this, I don't mind. It may become a woman or a grandfather or this, I don't know, or a saint, or I don't know. You don't mind because it's not. You see it as part of the dream.
It just feels that if we're taking away the engine.
The engine.
Yeah. We're taking away the engine that fuels this false sense of I. Then this I will automatically be cleaning itself out of all impurities because we're not making them survive the impurities. So we automatically go through the purification process. The I, the one, goes through an auto purification process.
Yeah, but I know also this Bhagavan is very much into that, and I don't want to criticize, but
Oh no, I'm not talking about him.
or in general, whoever talk about purification, for me, I would rather leave the idea of purification.
Yes.
Because who want to be pure?
The
one.
We're only trying to realize our identity with the zero, and for that, this one needs to be pure enough to see it.
That's not true.
But that means you're impure at the moment, right? But this
There's
is also
vasanas, as we
like
said.
why?
Neither impure or pure. This is a
Yeah.
notion. Pure, impure is a notion. But when you are in what you are, in zero-ness, there is neither pure or impure. What you are is a view of the one to be pure in the dream. But what you are is beyond, even beyond purity or impurity. Beyond, the most beautiful love that you can experience here, what you are is beyond that. You cannot describe it. So undescribable. So whatever the mind can know, love, purity, or whatever, is not it. It's within this experience, which can be more pure, less pure, or more love. But for what you are is indescribable, and is beyond the reach of the mind. So even purity is nothing for what you are.
That I don't disagree with. Yes, but I'd be a hypocrite to say that, because my identity is now with the one, not with the zero. The zero I have.
But because you believe it.
Yeah.
Yes, but can you stop to believe it?
No.
Yes, you can.
I can't.
For a moment. If you don't grasp it, then does it stay true if you don't grasp it?
I'm still having an experience. It doesn't end like that, which tells me there's something still missing in a sense.
Yes, but when the thought comes, there is still something missing in a sense. This is a thought, right?
Yeah.
So what happens when the thought came and you took it and you put your eye in it?
Even if I don't, I'll still continue being here, experiencing life.
Yes, but what happens if you don't grasp the thought? The thought is going like that and it's going there.
Yeah.
Like a cloud. Mm-hmm. But what you did, you grasped it. Mm-hmm. Then it make it real. That is the only thing. The only catch. If you don't grasp it, it's not real.
The issue is this goes against what all the sages in history have ever said. This is why I'm having issues with this. Because they've all stressed so deeply on this purification phase.
No, I don't agree with that. Maybe at some stage. But like Buddha,
he was already purified. He was ready to go.
But he thought that what he realized that nothing works, and you give up when you see that nothing works. Mm-hmm. Nothing works because the one try hard. But what we can call realization, but is to see that nothing works, and in that relax in yourself. It will never happen.
But how come this doesn't work for most people? It worked for
because
Ramana.
They catch your thought as you do. It's exactly the same. They catch their thought and they put eye in it and they believe in it. But if you don't catch, so you have a way, like Baron Katie, she said, "Is that true?" and so on and so on. But you just like Socrates say, "Is that true?" The thought come, instead of catching, you give space. When the thought came to you, it cannot be so simple. I don't know whatever the mind said, but you give space and you see without grasping it, and you see what happens. It loses its validity. Whatever the mind say, if you don't buy it, it loses its validity. That's all. And you stay here, you don't move, and you don't grasp any idea. That's a permanent meditation, 24/7.
So we're still within sadhana. We're going through this meditation.
This is
moment
still
to moment.
This is still for the one. The practice of not catching the thought. What you are does not need that. It's already perfect,
but
right?
Because we're still identified as the one, we're going through the sadhana, as if of disidentifying.
Yes. Like that. To not catch the thought is a part of the sadhana.
What if I told you that this sadhana, which is in fact what they call the purification phase, it's no different. It is.
Yeah, so if you like, but as long as you know it's for the one, and what you are does not need purification or anything, but it may help. But if you go into the trap of believing that you need that, I need that.
No, not I, just the one.
Yes, that's the catch.
Yeah.
If you don't place yourself as one, then it's fine. If you place yourself as zero, that you don't need anything, you don't need to reach yourself, you're already.
But that's
then
be a mental thought.
People that didn't make any sadhana and reached some realization.
Are you sure? Do we know this for sure?
Yes,
Ramana?
I
Ramana?
just
Ramana
met
went through tremendous
I
suffering.
No.
met somebody.
Sorry, but Ramana, no.
In previous lives.
We don't know that, but what we
You
see
don't
in
know?
this life, it just happened at
Even
16.
he said that he went through so much and finally to be reborn as this child in Madurai and boom.
I have a beautiful teacher in Rishikesh, and he just told his story, and it was not part of his life that he made some spiritual like practices or sadhana. He made some changes, adjusting towards his following more and finding more out about his naturality, gaining understanding about his body and his mind, and through that aligning his life in a way that somehow it happened to him. So
Is this Om Baba?
no, it's Jivas is his name. He's not like he did not choose to become like a big
Yeah. The
uh,
thing is,
guru, whatever. But he has the potential, nevertheless. But it was very nice to hear all that you can do it, and if you feel you have to do it, okay. But it's not necessary. It doesn't have to be like this. That at least I'm saying this now.
So that is you're saying the same thing. That you do what you don't need to do. You do it even what you are does not need it, but you still do it because you don't mind. That's different, very different. You don't mind doing it, but with awareness that you don't need it.
Yeah, as
the
long as
self
it
doesn't
doesn't.
need it. The zero doesn't need
Yes, you, but where do you place you? This is the question. You, when I say you, as self, if you place yourself as one, then you are already.
it. But I'm already as if stuck in the state of being the one because I'm still here experiencing the one.
Yes, but when I speak 0 to 0, can you relate to that? When I say you're already here and so on, can you relate to that? 0 to 0?
I can relate to that.
So where do you place your you? This is just about
In
that.
front, I see as something in front that I see, that is experienced.
But no, when I say 0, what you are.
Yeah.
What you are, when I say you, then I place it here. Not in the one. Sometimes I can speak to the one.
Yeah.
When I say what you are, you does not need anything.
Right.
I speak to this 0,
Right.
you, not the personal one.
Right.
It depends where you place yourself. But you are both simultaneously. But you don't need to catch, you see? When you see the impulse of the one trying to grasp thought, concept, or this or that. You see all the game, but you are here.
Seems like you've gained lots of knowledge in this field, and now you're like, I don't know, at least looking at it from the outside. Now all this knowledge comes, and isn't it like this and that, and maybe even too much of sadhana in your case. I don't know. I'm not the one who should advise you, but somehow I have a feeling you should do less and like enjoy more.
But it's the right time, you know. But the mind is freaking because you know what? Whatever I have done to accept for the mind that whatever I have done was not necessary. It was in the dream, but I was not. What I am was not needing that. I'm already that.
This much is clear, but there's some sort of hypocrisy here. We're being
Where?
hypocrites here.
Where?
The experience of the self is not an experience, and we're claiming to say that yes, I'm in zero. So it's a mental fragment.
It's a mental fragment if you catch the thought.
But
because you go there. It's that much simple. If you don't catch it, how can you not be what you are? Is it possible to not be what you are?
It's not possible.
So?
But it's as if possible because we're dreaming.
Sorry?
It's as if possible because we're dreaming that this is a real, we feel that this is real. And this is where the defect lies. We are seeing this dream, we're in this dream. This dream isn't really here, but yet we find ourselves as if like we're here. And this is where we should be questioning ourselves. why is this even here? The stream. Why am I seeing it if it
No,
isn't
but the
real?
why is coming. The why, how, and all this are coming from the same one. When you don't catch, you don't go in the mind. There is no how, no why, no where. They all disappear. Only as long as
And
they.
then we just remain as miserable human beings.
No, as you are. Miserable, it's already going into the mind and commenting miserable. It's already a judgment. You go to the mind. But if you don't go to the mind, you are what you are. Bas, katam. Finished.
And this
All
one,
else is
nothing
just...
changes. I'm still stuck inside of the human
Yes,
body,
it
which is
doesn't-
subject to
Yes.
old age, death, all that stuff.
Yes. And why is it a problem for what you are?
Because for the I, the one is unnatural. Because
Is what?
It's unnatural. Because all there is the zero. So the fact that I can see something outside me already tells me that I'm inside of an unnatural dream, which I shouldn't be seeing,
You see?
but I'm still seeing it.
But this another thing you can try to do is to not catch the should not.
It's just a way
Yeah,
to use
but
language.
it's so it's very important because it's creating a separation from what is, how it is. Should not. But if you are just here, then you observe all the comment of the mind, which is like a commentator. You're going, but we'll stop anyway. So maybe we stop here.
I didn't want to.
No, it's good time. If you don't mind, I stop. And so thank you so much.